I am still in shock. And now Taylor Swift is Team Baldoni. Hi, and welcome to Flawsome Talk. I'm Kjersti Flaa, and here on my channel, I talk about my good and bad experiences in Hollywood, working as an entertainment reporter, and a lot about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni and the legal drama. So if you missed the bombshell yesterday, here's a quick recap. So Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, sent a letter to the judge yesterday telling him that he cannot quash the subpoena that was sent to Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift received a subpoena, as you know, probably if you have invested in this drama, and Taylor Swift's lawyers have been trying to get the judge to toss the subpoena, and so has Blake Lively's team tried to do. And now Brian Friedman yesterday sent this letter that everyone was like, whoa, my jaw just dropped to the floor when I read what was in that letter to the judge, when he basically said that Blake Lively's lawyers had sent a letter to Taylor Swift's lawyers threatening her and saying if she doesn't come out with a statement supporting Blake Lively, she would leak some private text messages. Who does that to a friend? Also, Blake Lively had asked Taylor Swifter to delete their texts. So she was basically asking her to tamper with evidence. This information came from a reliable source. The thing is, not a lot of people would know about this situation. So, of course, it must be coming from Taylor Swift or someone very close to her. It also said in the letter that Brian Friedman and Taylor Swift's lawyers are working together in good faith, meaning they're working together here. So it seems like Taylor Swift's lawyers are teaming up with Baldoni instead of Blake Lively. What I'm mostly shocked about here, I have to say, is the fact that Blake Lively's lawyer sent a threatening letter, like a blackmailing letter, allegedly, to Taylor Swift's lawyers. I mean, I know that rich people, wealthy people can make lawyers do a lot of things, but that is just like, that is outrageous. So, of course, Blake Lively's lawyers jumped on this straight away and sent another letter to Judge Lehman, saying to him that this is all baseless claims and nothing is true here. And the thing is, when you think about it, Taylor Swift's lawyers has not come out with a statement. There's no one from Taylor Swift's camp who's come out with a statement. If this was false, don't you think they would have jumped on this right away as well to say that this is not true? Well, they haven't. So Mike Gottlieb, who is Blake Lively's main lawyer, came out with a statement to People magazine. His friend, who now I'm not so sure is Blake Lively's friend anymore, because the title in this People magazine article, interestingly enough, said Blake Lively threatened to leak Taylor Swift text if singer didn't publicly support her, claimed Justin Baldoni's lawyer. Interesting, right? The thing is, with people, they would always be siding with the biggest star. So they're obviously siding with Taylor Swift here. But they did reach out to Mike Gottlieb, who is, as I said, Blake Lively's main lawyer, and he came out with a statement. And here it is. He says, "This is categorically false. We unequivocally deny all of these so-called allegations." So-called allegations? Either there are allegations. What does it mean by so-called? They're allegations, which are cowardly sourced to supposed anonymous sources and completely untethered from reality. Who has been using cowardly sources so far, anonymous sources? Not Justin Baldoni. Blake Lively's team have been very openly only been using anonymous sources. Those were the people they added. Remember, they added 2 anonymous sources to the lawsuit who said that they would witness in the lawsuit, but they didn't want their names out. Now they're attacking Baldoni's camp for having anonymous sources. They never really had anonymous sources before, as far as I can remember. And then Gottlieb continues, this is what we have come to expect from the Wayfair Party's lawyers, who appear to love nothing more than shooting first without any evidence. It is like they're describing everything that they've been doing and then blaming Baldoni's team for doing that. Who has been shooting first without evidence here? Who has the evidence and who has not? Justin Baldoni brought all the evidence, one thing after the other. Blake Lively, what did she do? She just accused a lot of people of things she can't back up. And she's the one with all the evidence? I don't think so. And then they added here that, and with no care for the people they are harming in the process. Who has been harming people in the process? Blake Lively started this, remember? And she had absolutely no care for Baldoni or his family or everyone else involved. I think she sued like 12 people. Did she really think about their feelings like they're saying now that Baldoni's team have to think about the feelings of these people? According to Ryan Reynolds, they just should, grow some thicker skin. Wasn't that what he accused Baldoni of, not having thick skin so he couldn't take a joke? Anyways, he continues to say here, we will imminently file motions with the court to hold these attorneys accountable for their misconduct. Here, their misconduct. Who was just caught in filing a sham lawsuit with 10 does anonymous people. They filed a lawsuit against 10 anonymous, non-existing people to get that subpoena from Jennifer Abel. And now they're saying that Baldoni's team is the ones doing misconduct and also having anonymous sources. That's all they've had. This is so bananas, you guys. Also, Variety reported on this. It says here that Blake Lively's lawyers fight back against Taylor Swift's blackmail accusation, unequivocally and demonstrably false. And as soon as this happened, Blake Lively's attorney sat down and wrote a letter to the judge asking him to toss the letter that Brian Friedman had sent. And he said here, on behalf of our client, Blake Lively, we respectfully move to strike the letter signed by Mr. Brian Friedman and filed earlier today. That letter, which was not filed with any evidentiary support of any kind, much less anything under oath, falsely accuses Miss Lively and her counsel of engaging in witness tampering and evidence spoliation based on undisclosed anonymous source. The letter continued to say it should be unnecessary to respond to anonymously sourced, baseless allegations recklessly leveled without any supporting evidence. They're describing what they've been doing the whole time here. It's quite funny, actually. And he says, it is worth stating for the record, however, that each of the allegations in the Friedman letter is unequivocally and demonstrably false. As a legal matter, the Friedman letter is improper. It does not seek any form of relief, is irrelevant to any motion currently pending before the court, and serves no legitimate purpose. It is not useful to the court in any respects. I think it is pretty useful to the court in many respects. And I think now this is so brilliant of Brian Friedman. He put this out there. If the letter gets tossed or whatever happens here, people know about this. And if Taylor Swift's team or lawyers or herself or spokespeople or whatever, these people have so many people working for them. If anyone from Taylor's camp comes out and denies this, things will change, obviously. But they haven't so far. So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, you guys. I'm telling you, this is getting so dirty. And while all of this was going on, Blake Lively chose to go out in public for dinner with her husband Ryan and Salma Hayek. What are you doing, Salma Hayek? Do you want to be seen in public with these people? It's so crazy to me. Also, the fact, why does Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds go out for dinner in New York? They know they're going to be spotted. Are they just going to pretend still like they're happy and they're just unaffected by this, which makes them look a lot worse? Let's put it that way. If that was if this is true, what Brian Friedman said in that letter and what she did to Taylor Swift, Hello, Salma Hayek needs a wake-up call. She cannot be friends with Blake Lively. This is terrible. The two of them have been friends for a while, and as you know, Salma Hayek is powerful. She's married to one of the richest men in the world, so of course Blake Lively wants to have her as one of her dragons. Now that all the other dragons are gone, Gigi Hadid is gone, Taylor Swift is gone, and I don't know who else she had as friends, but yeah, she doesn't have any friends anymore in Hollywood. I don't know, maybe, she has her sister, Robin, who's sometimes with her as well. And as I mentioned in a video not too long ago, it was from 2017 when Salma Hayek was giving Blake Lively, I don't know if she was giving her an award or she was doing a speech about Blake Lively. It was at this luncheon, power luncheon for women, organized by Variety. And Salma Hayek said this about her good friend. She said, I still have never met anyone that at such an early stage in their life had such a sense of self, so much courage.
I saw her take on one of the biggest bullies in this industry that everybody feared. She was like, bring it on, baby. What's your problem? She knows exactly what she wants.
A lot of people were saying that she was probably referring to Oliver Stone because they were in a movie together. I thought maybe it was Harvey Weinstein. Doesn't matter. If she stood up to the biggest bully in Hollywood and she couldn't stand up to Justin Baldoni, it's like that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And again, it just proves that everything that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have been saying so far are mostly untrue. Also, as you know, Ryan Reynolds' ex, Scarlett Johansson, is coming out with a movie called Eleanor the Great. This is her directorial debut. And guess who's producing the movie? Wayfarer Studios. Kind of interesting twist here. Scarlett is quoted in the rap where she says that she hasn't met Justin Baldoni, but admits Blake Lively feud makes it weird timing. He produced her movie. She talked about Wayfarer here, and she said they were super supportive throughout the process. But yeah, it's such a weird timing. She doesn't say anything more than that, and I think that was a diplomatic way of putting it. It is a weird timing. And as I'm sure we all guess that Scarlett is not a fan of Blake Lively, I think it's kind of obvious that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds got together when he was still married to Scarlett Johansson. According to all the interviews, we see them together during the Green Lantern promotion. Of course, it was so much flirtation going on there. So I think Scarlett Johansson is not a big fan. So yeah, I hope her movie is good. Anyways, that's it from me, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode and stay tuned for more. There's so much going on. I feel like every day is like a true crime drama now. And now this is like, I don't know, this sounds like it could be like criminal. You're asking someone to tamper with evidence. Wow, that sounds illegal to me. Anyways, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode of Flawsome Talk. And I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.